Okay, so I thought I'd make a quick video here on how to do the first Photoshop assignment on Photopea for those of you guys that aren't able to install Photoshop. So again, you're going to go to photopea.com. So it's P-H-O-T-O-P-E-I, or sorry, P-E-A rather, P-E-A.com. It's linked in Schoology, or you can just type in again, photopea.com. So photopea.com. It is kind of slow, so obviously using this free program online, it runs a little bit slower, and you got some ads over here on the side that might show up, but it's free, so that's good. And if you can install Photoshop, this is probably the next best thing that you can do. So the first thing we need to do is create a canvas to work on. So I'm going to go ahead and go File, New. This will bring up a new project here. We can just call it Practice 1. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to make it the size of a piece of paper, so I'm going to change it to inches. And we want it a standard size of piece of paper, so it's 8.5 inches by 11 inches. So again, you got to make sure you change it from pixels to inches, because 8.5 pixels by 11 pixels would be really small. Instead, we want inches. And we want to go pretty high quality, so we're going to go ahead and go with 300 DPI. All right, so once we got that set, go ahead and hit Create. That'll give us this blank canvas to work on. That's what we call it, as a canvas, right? Or the blank document that we're working on. So this is where we're going to go ahead and create our project. So first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and get a photo in here to work with. So hopefully you got something downloaded on your computer that you can use. If not, just go on Google, find an image, and download it. So to go ahead and get a photo in here, I'm going to go up and go to File, Open and Place. And I'm going to go ahead and pick an image I have in here. You know, let's just do one of these pumpkin patch images here. So I'll go ahead and open it up. All right, that put the image in here. Now in our project, one of the requirements is that you, so that you put in an image. So we just did that. So it was open and place in order to put it in our image. So File, Open and Place, right? And then secondly, it says the image must be rotated or warped or both. Now I haven't figured out on Photopea how to, oh, there's the warp option. So here we are, we're in the Move tool. Now, if I'm just on the Move tool normally, it might not show the transformation controls, right? So if you need to see transformation controls, make sure you select that. That'll let you resize the image. Now if you notice, when I resized the image, it kind of distorted it. So if I hold down the Control key, ooh, maybe not the Control key, sorry. The Shift key, sorry. If I hold down the Shift key, then when I resize it, it won't distort. And then to rotate, I just move my mouse away from the corners, and it turns into a little double arrow. And with that double arrow, I can rotate the image one way or the other. So that is something I do want you to do for this project. Now you can also have some fun and you can warp your image. So if you click on the warp tool, it'll give you the option to go in here and like do some really crazy stuff. Which of course is kind of hard to see because it runs a little bit slow on the website here. But you can bend the corners, right? You can do some crazy things. I don't know why you'd want to do any of this, but it is an option. And unfortunately, it does go pretty slow here, trying to do it online on the online software. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that warp. I'm just going to go ahead and rotate the image because I think it looks nice just being slightly rotated. And then, oops, I screwed up again. So I'm going to rotate it, hold down the Shift key when I expand it so that it doesn't get too distorted. All right, happy with it. Hit Enter there, place it where I want. So next thing is I want to change the background so I don't have a white background. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a shape here. So if I look here on my toolbar, so this here along the left-hand side is all the different tools that we have in Photoshop, or in this case, Photopea. And I'm going to go down here to the rectangle tool and select that. And then I can go ahead and drag the rectangle out to fill up the whole page. And if I want to change the color of the rectangle, well, first off, my image disappeared, right? Because my rectangle is on top of my image. So I want to go ahead and move my shape down or move my image up. So right over here on the right-hand side is my layers. So I'm going to go ahead and move my photo layer up one. So think of it like a book, whatever's on top is what shows up on top. So we want to make sure that I move my photo up here to the top layer. And then the shape, I want to go ahead and change the color of the shape. So I'm going to go up to fill. And then I'm going to click on this button right here. And this is going to bring up my color picker, my color swatches. I could pick a color I want. But I could also pick a color out of the image here. So if I want this orange from the pumpkin, I can click right there, or the blue from his shirt, and click right there and grab it. So it's kind of nice. So I want you guys to go ahead and practice grabbing color out of the image. If you need to zoom in on your keyboard, you can hit Control+ and it'll blow up your image bigger, blow up your screen bigger, or hold down the Control key and hit minus and it makes it smaller. So Control+, hold down the Control key and hit plus makes it bigger. Control key and minus makes it smaller. Or you can hold down the Alt key and scroll up on your mouse, or scroll down on your mouse. That also zooms in and out. So two different ways to do that. You could also go up to View and choose Zoom In or Zoom Out. All right, so what do we want? This is kind of a pumpkin theme, so I'm going to go ahead and grab kind of this dark orange back here. What do I like? Yeah, maybe a lighter orange. That's good. That orange right there. I had hit, or this kind of brownish orange, right? Up in here. Hit OK. All right, and so that changed the color of the background there for me. All right, the next thing we need to do is add some text. So I'm going to go down here to the text tool on the left-hand side. It's a capital T. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then I'm going to go ahead and click where I want my text in the image. And then I'll just start typing. Now, it looks like I can't see my text because it's super small. Oh, or it's loading. So again, one of the downsides to this is it's kind of slow. And particularly with fonts, it took a while to load up the fonts. So let me try this again. If I click on my canvas and then start typing, does anything pop up? No? Let me blow up the size. So I'm going to make the size bigger. Oh, here it is. It put it way up here at the top for some reason. All right, so let me blow up the size. So again, it's a little bit funky. So again, up here on the top, I can adjust the size of my fonts. All right, so I got to highlight what I wrote, blow it up, and I can go ahead and I can choose a different font. But I'm just going to stick with this one because it seems to be going really slow at the moment. Let me do that font over again. So text. Usually I can just click right in the image. There we go. And then I can start typing G-I-D-E-O-N. All right. So this is my son. So I'm going to go ahead and there's his name. Shrink it down. Move it to where I want it. All right, and now the last thing we want to talk about is layer styles. So you can add a drop shadow. Oops. So if I click back on the image here, I can add things like drop shadow to it or a glow to it. So if I go to down here at the bottom of my layers, there's a button that says EFF. Those are layer styles in Photopea. So if I click on that, I could add drop shadow, outer glow, inner glow, stroke. So I'm going to go ahead and add a drop shadow here to it. So I'll move it out of my way so I can see here. So I'll adjust some of these. So sorry about that. Somebody interrupted me there. So again, I will go ahead and adjust the angle here on my drop shadow and adjust the distance and the spread. All right, and that does some different things. You can also add outer glows and some other things, so you guys can play around with that. I think I am going to go ahead and add a stroke to mine, so I'm going to click on the stroke button, click on it, and change the color of my stroke, maybe to match his shirt here. Can I get that blue color? Hit OK. Again, this is really kind of difficult to do. Online it's a little bit slow, a little bit delayed response, so it can be kind of tricky. All right, so I hit OK there. So now I got an outline here on my image. I got a drop shadow on it. Same thing down here with the text. I think I'm going to actually add another box behind my text just to make it pop out a little bit. And again, I'll have to move it down so it's under my text, and then I'm going to change the color. I'm going to get the color to match that blue there. Oh, now I need to change my text color. So I'm going to go up to my text, go back to my text tool, highlight my text, and I'm going to change it to white. Okay. Oh, and I forgot to save my shape color. So let me go back to my shape. Oops. Go back to my shape tool. Here it is. Change the fill color again. All right, hit OK. There we go. That time it saved it. All right, and to my text, I'll probably go ahead and add a drop shadow or an outer glow, something like that. I don't know, outer glow. I guess we could do an outer glow, maybe of a orangish color. See how that looks. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'll just stick with a drop shadow. And again, make some adjustments to that. All right. All right, so it looks pretty good. I'm pretty much done. Oh, I can even add a drop shadow to the shape. So again, drop shadows everywhere just for fun. Looks nice. All right. All right, so that's pretty good. So now that I'm done with it and I want to turn it in, I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go Export As, and make sure to export it as a JPEG. All right. I'm just going to leave it at 70% quality. Should be OK. And it's going to say where do I want to put it. I'll put it in my downloads here. Practice 1 JPEG. Save it. And now when you go back to your assignment, you can click Submit and then upload from your computer. All right. Okay, just a little bonus here for you if you're using Photopea. I mentioned this in the other Photoshop tutorial video if you're using Photoshop, but I forgot to mention it here. So if you want to use a gradient in the background rather than the shape, I'm going to go ahead and disable the shape layer. And right now you probably just have a white background layer. So I've already gone ahead and put in a gradient, but there is a gradient tool down here. Where is it? Right here. So about halfway down is gradient tool. Paint bucket tool might be on top, so it's underneath the paint bucket tool. So if you click and hold on any of these tools, sometimes it'll show up other tools that you have in the same spot. So I'll go ahead and select the gradient tool. And up here at the top, I can change the gradient. I can change the colors that I want, how I want the gradient to appear. Right? If I click on a color and click on the box here, I can pick a new color. So I can pick a different color, orange, from my image here. Okay, and I hit OK. And then to use the gradient tool, on the background layer, you just click and drag out this line, and it'll put in a gradient here for you. So that's kind of a neat thing you can do, play around with, putting in some gradients. All right.